said, as you've seen, we had a record quarter in the first quarter, and we're trailing to have a very good second quarter. Obviously, we want to thank all of our employees that have been out there serving our customers and our patients during this very difficult time. I think the cannabis industry has shown that it can operate in a very difficult environment, and the fact that it was made as an essential service through most of the country, I think really brings it out into the open that this is an industry that's going to prosper in the United States. And I have to say that most of the companies in this space are doing very, very well during these difficult times.
As you said, Boris, a strong quarter, and the share price clearly has been very strong of late, as we just showed. How much has that relied on the fact that cannabis did get essential industry designation? And I'm sure you welcomed that, but were you surprised it happened?
Listen, I think that we were kind of surprised that it would go nationally the way it did. However, the industry was trailing and doing very well. Our growth has been about 30% quarter on quarter, and that's what we did this quarter again. We're growing over 100% a year. We grew over 158% on the revenue line this year from last year, and we've grown over 45% in EBITDA from last year to this year. And so the industry is doing very well. Obviously, the essential services status was really important, not only for the industry, but for the patients and the customers around the country. And I think what's really important is the cannabis industry showed that it could adjust to the current environment by, serving our customers curbside, doing it safely. The online aspect of our business is booming. A lot of governors allowed online sales and delivery, which they didn't allow in the past. Now we're servicing our customers both online. Our online sales are growing at hundreds of percent per month since COVID. We're seeing that accelerating into May and accelerating into June. So these are all very positive things. And it's made the industry, I think, come out into the mainstream, because today it is one of the few industries that's doing very well during this very difficult period, and it's showing very strong results. And it's one of the few industries in the United States that's actually hiring at this point in time. So Curaleaf itself has probably hired a couple of hundred employees during this period of time to manage the growth in the industry. And a lot of the other companies are hiring as well. And I think that that's also boding well for state tax revenues. A lot of these states, as you know, are going to be running very large deficits, and the cannabis industry is growing. And so the revenues for the state coffers are going to be substantial going forward.
Yeah, I was just going to ask about that. I mean, there's a bullish school of thought on these stocks that you are going to help sort of fill the void and the big holes that we're seeing in state finances. What are you hearing about legalization and the path forward here in light of this pandemic?
I think very similarly to the way we saw, prohibition get lifted right after the Great Depression, and one of the reasons for that was, revenues for both the federal and the state level. I think you're going to see a very similar dynamic in cannabis. Cannabis is a much safer product than alcohol. It polls at over 90% on the medical side through the population, polls over 70% on adult use. We just got legislation in the bill that came out of Congress to allow safe banking. It's now in the Senate. It's time for the Senate to understand that cannabis is here to stay. It's a large industry. It's growing, as I said, at over 30% on a quarterly basis. And it's something that's very much wanted, accepted by the population at large in the country. Most of the population in the United States now has access to either medical or adult use cannabis. And the only thing that's standing in its way today and getting it nationally approved and supported is really the Senate.